Hello and welcome to the new format of 5 questions from Friday, but here on Saturday morning to help you with your build up to game week 27. We're going to go through the 5 most important questions that people in the community have put to us right ahead of deadline, so that, you know, as you crunch your cereal there or your bacon sarnies, you can also have some entertainment and some help with your FPL choices. But moving into it, but actually no, just before we move into it, I do want to remind you to like, share and subscribe, because we're doing daily content here on Premier Injuries at the moment, Monday to Friday, but we've even squeezed in a Saturday show for you because we love you guys that much. Now, the DMs have been a-flowing, the tweets have been coming in, and the first one between us, Ben, we have to decide, who do we keep, Bruno or Salah? Now, check out the Premier Injuries FPL video if you want more data and insights. But I said, drop Bruno, sell him, get somebody else in, but do keep Salah. There's some great data for Salah. Bruno is playing some tough fixtures and not great data to boot. Is that something that you agree with there, Ben?
It is, Jason, and there's a couple of reasons. Look, we all know what happened on Thursday night, substituted in and around that 60-minute mark. And that was a bit of an anomaly in his career at Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp suggested that he took him off as a precaution because he thought he looked a little bit fatigued. I'm expecting Salah to come big, you know, and really lay down a marker and respond to some of the criticism he's had in recent weeks. And I also like the fact that Diogo Jota has returned to that Liverpool squad. And I love that Diogo Jota has returned to that Liverpool squad. And if he can replicate anything like the form that he had pre-injury, then that will lift that whole Liverpool squad and also keep that attacking Liverpool trio on their toes and lift their game as well.
Moving on to the next question, and it has come from Paul Mill on Twitter. There, you can see it on screen. And I suppose the question, you know, linked to Mr. Mill there, was it because of poorliness from McCarthy that he wasn't in the Southampton side, or is Foster there now and replacing him going forward?
A couple of things here. Now, Ralph Hasenhüttl did say that he had been protecting Alex McCarthy for a couple of high-profile mistakes. One that he did identify was the one against Newcastle at St James's Park that ultimately cost them the game. So it was a decision based on poor performances. And for me, you know, you don't make a decision like that lightly. If he's bringing Fraser Forster in, it's with a view to keeping him in, certainly over the short to medium term, depending on how he performs. It certainly isn't just a one-off game week, in my opinion. So I fully expect Fraser Forster to be nailed down between the sticks for the Saints for at least the next 2 or 3 game weeks.
Now, the thing is, we were quick here with the DMs and people kind of sliding in and sending us messages here. The next one was about DCL versus Antonio. And I'll remind you just to make sure to follow us on Twitter as well so that you can find out and send these messages in. You do have to be quick. DCL versus Antonio debate for me is an interesting one because I don't think there is a debate there. I think you get in Antonio. And also, I'd actually say that DCL isn't the best Everton pick in that forward line of Everton at the moment. I would say Richarlison has some great underlying data over the last few game weeks, 4 goals in his last 2 game weeks as well, some great XG, XGI and shots in the box, whereas DCL obviously has come back from an injury, and I think it's taking that little bit of time to settle in. Jump on the man who is in form, Richarlison, but I would go with Antonio all day. Mega data, and West Ham are doing mega themselves. Do you agree on that one, Ben?
100%, no question. DCL, slight tweak in his role. Carlo Ancelotti's mentioned the fact that he's taken away from some of his attacking capabilities to allow Richarlison that flexibility to play more in of an advanced role and forget about his defensive duties. And I'm really, really sweet on West Ham, particularly against the porous Leeds United defence. So if I was going to jump on it, I would really look to be jumping upon it at this point, because hopefully I'll not get burned again by Leeds doing the dirty on us. but I expect West Ham to hit 2, 3, possibly even 4 goals this weekend.
Now, we're having our Hamlet moment here. To Kane or not to Kane, but I think, he's regal enough himself, King Kane, that you have to have him in your side at the moment. He is doing well. I think he's a great shout going forward because great fixtures over the last 2 game weeks, phenomenal data as well. 13 shots in the box, 2.8 xg and 3.09 xgi. And with that discussion that we had a little bit earlier in this video of Bruno in or out, take Bruno out, Kane in. I think that's a great choice. Is that something that you'd consider for your team, Ben, if you did have Bruno in your side?
Yeah, arise Sir Harry. I think we're talking 1 in 4 Premier, 2 in 6 in the Premier League. So it's not great, certainly by his high standards. You play the averages, you play the game, and when you have somebody like Harry Kane in your team, backed up by those underlying stats, that dry run or this stutter isn't going to last for too long. He's coming back to his pre-injury levels, so it's only a matter of time before he starts banging and returning big Premier points.
Now, the final question for this game week, and I think it's because triple captaincy, those fingers are itching to use it because it is another double game week for Manchester City. Which City asset do you put the triple captaincy on there? And I think this is a great debate because these are all mega tied, Gundogan, De Bruyne and Sterling. In terms of attacking assets, I'm going to flash the data up on screen. You can pause it, analyse it yourself. I think, and this one has caused many debates in our matrimonial home, hasn't it, Ben? But I would actually plumb for Raheem Sterling. More shots in the box per game than Mr. Gundogan. See, the head is shaking there already. Better minutes per chances created. He's been on phenomenal form. 5 goals in his last 11. And what I like as well is his XG per game is actually higher than Gundogan and De Bruyne's. And he's not on penalties as well. So this is all from open play. He's getting in the right positions. And maybe if Aguero or Jesus is back, Gundogan might not be on the penalties, which has kind of inflated that a little bit. So that is my pick. Are you going with an attacking asset if you had a triple captaincy to put on a Man City asset, or would you go with a defensive one, Ben, in this double game week?
Heading into the double game week, I said that Pep would probably look to play key players 3 out of those 4 matches. So heading into this game week, I'd look at maybe who was rested or dropped in one of those first 2 for double game week 26. It's still going to be a defensive armband. If I wanted to, I suppose, go for the riskier punt, it would be Cancelo. That he would be, because I think he offers a lot more than just being a right back where he could start this weekend with maybe in place of Kyle Walker. There's also some suggestion that he is the false number 2 when he plays in a 10 role. So he's got the flexibility to play up there. So he would be the riskier preferred punt. If I wanted to stay safe and I wanted to stick the armband on somebody who I would guarantee would get minutes and starts, I wouldn't be totally adverse to going with Ederson in goal for City.
Ooh, that is a big shout, and maybe he might be the one to replace Gundogan on those penalties. But I just have to say one final thing. Dust those crumbs away, probably from your toast that you're having this morning. Use those rested thumbs, lock in those fantasy teams. But thanks for tuning in. Remember to like, share and subscribe to Premier Injuries. But for now, we wish you the best of luck going in to this very soon Game Week 27.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks, everyone. Good luck.